Sometimes I wish that when I was young, I mean younger, of course, because I'm really young, just say. Um, I just wish that people would have told me these things when I was younger and that I was really mentored and coached in the proper way. Hey everyone, I'm Tracy, and welcome to the Voice Guru. I have 2 degrees in music and opera and jazz and piano from France and Canada, and I've been teaching and coaching and performing for over 20 years now. Being a singer is a really tough job because you're not working just on yourself, but you're working with a lot of other people. And it's a teamwork most of the times. All the projects you're going to be involved in, it's teamwork. There are some common mistakes and common myth about being a singer that people are not necessarily aware of, and this is what I want to talk about in this video. Now, a few years ago, perhaps a couple of years ago, I did this video here. It was so-so. Watching it now, I really noticed how lame it was and incomplete. And this is why I decided to do this new video that really exposes many other mistakes that I have made in the past and that perhaps you can avoid making them. If you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Find me also on Instagram at Mr. John Tracy, and visit my website, johnthevoiceguru.com, and you can also download the 7 free exercises. So the first thing I want to talk about is actually just what I said previously. Being a singer is all about also teamwork, because most of the times you will be collaborating with other people. One of the common mistakes that we do is actually to listen to the advice of other co-singers, so co-workers or people that we know close to us that are also singers. A lot of times it comes from a good place, but you know what? From experience, I can speak from experience. Most of the advice I got when I was younger from other singers was actually bad advice, because some people just feed on your doubts and your fears and your concerns. And this is what triggers them. They really love that. They really love seeing you helpless and just about to quit. They want you to quit, actually. So rarely take advice from people like that, but with time you'll kind of get to notice these things within that specific person. Another mistake is actually sticking to only one teacher or one school of thought. You're never a student to only one master. When you're picking a voice teacher, always make sure that you are making improvement almost right away. You will notice, you will know that you are making improvement within the first few weeks, okay? If you're not seeing that, then there is an issue. You can always talk to the prof, to your voice instructor. But if you see there is really no improvement, this probably means you need to change that prof. Now, there is no bad prof or good prof. It's just that whatever that person is giving you is not really working, or whatever all the information that this person is giving you is not really being processed the right way by yourself, by your mind, by your body, by your voice. So there's not only one way to do it. You can have one prof for a year or two and then change to someone else, because you would have taken everything from that person, everything that they can bring to you, and then it's time to move along. And you have to know when it's time to move. Sometimes you can stick with the same person for many years, and that's fine, as long as you feel that you are improving, you are building your voice. Remember, the voice is an instrument, so you are taking the time to develop it and build it. Sometimes what the professor is giving you is really helpful, but you just don't get along. So sometimes it's a chemistry issue. You know, if you feel it's a really good prof and that you're really improving, you can just make an effort for a while, but eventually you kind of feel that you need to move on. So you can definitely move on. You don't belong to one professor, to one teacher, or to one school of thought. Another mistake is thinking that my voice will always be the same forever. It's not true, because your body's changing every day. Of course, inevitably, your voice is changing with it. But that doesn't mean it gets worse. It just means that it's up to you to adapt to that change. And this is something that we almost never talk about. And I did make a video about singing, does singing change with age? So make sure to catch it as well. Sometimes you can be a tenor, for instance, and eventually throughout your lifetime, you can sing baritone. Or sometimes you're a soprano that becomes a mezzo-soprano. Sometimes the opposite happens as well. Don't just get attached to your voice type, because it's more about your voice and your character and identity more than actually your voice type. This idea is probably my favorite, You don't have to scream to be heard. This is why we take voice lessons and we try to build the voice so that you don't have to scream in order to sing. It's all about projection. It's not about screaming. Screaming is muscular, it hurts, it has no future. We want to build the voice. We want to project in this direction. Some teachers also say sing towards yourself and not towards your audience. So this is a great misconception, and I see that a lot on social media nowadays, especially on TikTok and on Instagram. Everyone wants to scream out their notes. You know, it works when you're 15, 16, 17, but when you're 40, trust me, it doesn't work anymore. So always be healthy. That's the thing. It's all about healthy singing. You want to develop the voice in order to sing healthy. Another mistake, and I know you will hate me for it because I mention this in literally almost every video, mistake is not to practice. Not practicing enough. You know, just like everything in life, when you go to the gym, it makes a difference. But when you don't, well, you kind of see it, you feel it, and in the case of the voice, you also hear it. You have to practice. You're building something. You're building your instrument. Just like when you're playing piano, you're not going to get better if you don't practice. And we kind of think sometimes, especially when we're younger, that, oh, it's fine, I don't need to sing every day. But actually you do, because you need to get the motor running all the time so that you know exactly what you need to do. With time, the body understands, you understand what you have to do. It's really not rocket science, seriously, it's just science. Oh, and by the way, make sure you download the 7 free exercises that I've loaded on my website. There's a music score and the piano sing-along track for you to practice on. Another mistake is relying on your looks to get cast and get into auditions. You know, this can go only a few miles, but eventually you have to rely on your artistry, the music you're creating, and your voice, but also your character and identity. This is how people will pick you. If you are the best at an audition, chances are they will pick you. Not all the time, because sometimes they're looking for something very specific, for a specific voice type or a specific character. But don't get offended when they don't pick you when you know you were the best at the audition. But chances are you'll have more chances to be picked up when you are the best. So always focus on the real source. What is the source of your mission? Is to sing, not to be, pretty and wear tight clothes to sing. No one will like you if you're snobbish and you have a character, okay? It's everything. Even on social media, when you have an attitude, people usually don't tend to like you a lot. Sometimes it works, but most of the times it doesn't. I know that when I see that, even in person, in real life, I take that really badly because I feel that they want to make you feel like you're not worthy enough. You know what I mean? You can have an attitude. I still have an attitude. I'm still snobbish sometimes, but for a specific reason, not because I think I'm the best and, Now this one is very important, not relying on your self-worth to develop your voice. Don't forget the voice is a reflection of your identity, of who you are, of your soul. It is you. Your voice is you. I don't differentiate my voice from who I am and what I am and what I've been through. So my self-worth is reflected through my voice. If I think I'm not worthy or I'm not enough, you know what? I will hear it in my voice. And with time, you learn that these are all important things. And when you're not sure of yourself, the voice is not developing the way we want it to. Because there's always that resistance to something big. Resistance to discovering how amazing and big you are. Another thing is actually also related to that is relying on your identity to sing, because your voice is you, as I said. But when you're about to sing, don't change your voice so that you sound like, I don't know, Ariana Grande or Billie Eilish, God forbid. But you're gonna hate me for this, I know, but I have my opinions on specific singers, and sometimes I just wish I could coach them. Just saying. So rely on who you are when you are singing. I want to hear you. I don't want to hear an imitation of whoever it is you're trying to imitate. A good way to do that is actually to get inspired from your spoken voice. What do you sound like when you're speaking? Say your name and try to sing on your name. One of the worst things you could do is actually not learn basic music theory, like reading notes, understanding chords, and also playing an instrument. You don't need to be a professional or a big hotshot in piano or in guitar or ukulele or whatever it is, but at least know the basics. Know that a chord, okay, that's how I play a chord. What is strumming, a C major on a guitar, for instance? I don't know. What is a C major chord? What's an A major chord? What is it formed of? What is the scale? When you learn these things, learning music and learning singing will become so much easier, and you will train the ear at the same time in case you have ear problems. Oh, and by the way, I did do a video about how to not sing flat. Check it out. Now, within that same idea, learning a new instrument as well as singing, this can also be reflected in the fact that you are not just a singer. Being a singer is amazing, don't get me wrong, but we're always good at more than one thing. I'm sorry. And if you want to go to law school or do business school or whatever it is, but you still want to be a singer, you know what? You can do everything at the same time. You can do both, and you can get a full-time job and still be able to do both. See everything as a side hustle to everything else, and you'll reach out your objective at the end. It's just that figuring out what you really want. It's always good to have some kind of degree, whether it's a music degree, a law degree, or whatever it is. I'm not totally okay with the fact that all of those life coaches nowadays say that you don't need a college degree, you don't need a university degree. Perhaps if you want to become, a hustler and, you want to have your own online store, that's great. But at the same time, you still need backup. You do need backup. I'm sorry. I know you don't want to hear this, and people never admit it, but I've had a lot of side hustles as well, and I've had a lot of jobs. Worked in retail, in restaurants, in hotel management, and I worked in many environments, and I still do many things in my life besides teaching. So always plan for the future as well. When you're 18, you just want to do that. It's great. But at the same time, what are you going to do when you're 40 or when you're 50? I don't think you're going to be doing the same thing at 50 than what you thought you would be doing at 18. That's just a thought. At the end of the day, you make your own choices. Within that same idea, again, I keep saying that, I'm sorry, but they're all kind of connected here. Not being ready for change. Whether it's vocal change, developing the voice, personality change because you get mature when you're developing the voice, it's all connected, people, okay? It's all connected. But also change in plans. As I said, when you're 18, you want to do, when you want to become a rock star, but not when you're 40. When you're 40, you want to develop other things. You want to maybe become a producer. You want to become a director. I don't know, you want to become a teacher. Anything can happen. Or maybe you want to give up music and become an entrepreneur. Anything is possible. So get ready for change in your life. It's not only about being on stage and showing off. No one, trust me, this one is, okay, this one is very important. No one will come running for you. Okay, people? No one is gonna come running for you. Unless you have 50 million followers on Instagram or whatever, no one is gonna come and fetch you to take care of your career. Okay, unless you have a cousin, an uncle, or whatever who is like in music management and they can take care of you and take you under their wings and, make a big star out of you. No one's gonna come and run after you to sing. That's what entrepreneurship is all about, because they don't teach us that at music schools or academies or universities. They say, you go audition and you get cast because you're amazing. It's not true. You're an entrepreneur. It's up to you to run after all these organizations and all these people so that they hire you for a gig. Okay? No producer really wants you. No music manager really needs you. There's already a ton of people that, sometimes they're doing great. Others really don't deserve all the success they're getting, but they're still doing great because they were able to, fetch those people and climb and do stuff. Most of the times it's because they've acted on their projects, on their wishes. So even if you're the best and you have a project that is just sleeping in your computer, no one's gonna find out about you unless you release it. I just want to finish this video with one last thought. Find your true vocation. Whether it's singing, it's teaching, it's producing, creating, or you know what, maybe music management is for you as well. So you're not just connected to one thing. You don't have to just be one thing, as I said before, but find your true vocation. What is it that you feel you can never give up? You don't have to decide now, especially if you're like 18. I didn't know what I wanted when I was 18. I just wanted to sing. And I notice now, you know, that, oh, I did sing and I still sing, but I also do all these other things that also make me very happy. Like for me, my vocation was to make people happy. And so by developing their voices or by singing to them, I was able to make people happy, kind of like a healer way. And this is why my channel is called The Voice Guru. So I really hope this was helpful to you and that you know, you will make the right choices in your life. It's fine to make mistakes because we are all making mistakes and we'll always make mistakes. But what's important is to always be happy and be true to yourself, really. We want to be an Ariana Grande, we want to be an Beyonce, we want to be everything, but we have to be realistic. Who am I? What do I want? And where am I heading? I also released another video a while ago. It's called 15 Things. Okay, I have an issue with this. 15 facts nobody tells you about being a singer. Okay, people, I think I have to change that title to make it a bit more attractive. So make sure to watch it because it's really cool. Add me on Instagram at Mr. John Tracy, and also you can follow my other channel, my artist channel, where I release my own songs at Mr. Tracy here on YouTube. And check me out on Facebook at Mr. Tracy, of course. I'm John Tracy, and thank you all for watching.